So we're all proud.
From nitwit to coal miner.
People don't understand anxiety is not just being nervous.
Whatever. Hi, welcome to another episode of Over the Edge. It's a pre-recording for my podcast about anxiety. And my name is Mickey Hughes, and I interview guests usually in entertainment and the mental health sector to talk about anxiety and coping. And today we actually have somebody outside of that. We have an artist. In my opinion, they suffer just as much as comedians do, and just as much personality. We've got Sarah Dufresne. Today, though, I wanted to just mention first, I've been reading about this girl with Gorilla Glue, the Gorilla Glue girl. And I don't know if you guys have had some major issues using products that either could have killed you or misused them and ended up in the hospital. But I think this is phenomenal. If you don't know the story, it started off with a TikTok. This is Gorilla Glue girl. This is her right here.
Well, I didn't have any more Got to Be glue spray, so I used this Gorilla Glue spray. Bad. I've washed my hair 15 times and it don't move. You ever run out of Got to Be glue spray? Don't ever.
And you cannot tell me that you haven't used something absolutely horrifically. I've been pretty open about my struggles and addictions and mental health in the last couple of weeks, based on stuff that happened over 10 years ago. So it being a decade ago, now it seems to be funny. At the time, it was absolutely catastrophic. I was trying to lose weight and I was trying to figure out what eating disorder was right for me. And somebody had mentioned at one point that castor oil will kind of like clean everything out. And I thought, this is great. I can eat whatever I want and I don't have to gain weight or have the repercussions for it. So I went to Canadian Tire. I thought it was castor oil. I didn't realize it was castor oil, and I should have been going to Shoppers Drug Mart. So you can already see. So I'm standing there in this aisle looking at this stuff that would kill me, and I'd almost decided on one. And somebody asked me, they're like, "Hey, can I help you with something?" And I was like, "No," and I skedaddled out of the store. And that might have saved my life, because I think legitimately I would have had this stuff, and nobody would have understood. I mean, it might be as bad as trying to give myself botulism by pickling turnips completely wrong. But my drunken mind is not as smart, but I will say that I am absolutely creative. So let's bring up Sarah, and maybe she's used a product incorrectly as well. I'll put her on the spot. Hi, Sarah.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Did you say you're talking with an OCAD student? You are a abstract expressionist. I can see some of the paintings behind you.
Just casually placed behind me.
Casually, and your art is, because I've seen you on Instagram as well. It is art by Sarah Dufresne, so super easy.
Yes, just my name.
Just your name.
Yeah. It's hard to choose one time when I used a product wrong, because there's so many times when I've just embarrassed myself. But this one was a hit between my friends, because like, as you know, like skincare has become like super popular. Also, like my age group is like, we're not going to get old. Let's just lather our faces with whatever. And so I bought this, what I thought was a cleanser. I was using this every day and I was like, my skin is horrible. And this was when I was living in Toronto, and I thought it was just the pollution. I was like, wow, I'm breaking out lots. And it turns out that every day for about a month and a half, I was exfoliating my face twice a day. And I just read the bottle wrong.
So you were using like exfoliating. So that's something with beads in it. And you were.
Yeah, it's like something that you should only do like once a week. So I was basically just like traumatizing my skin every day. And I was like, why does it look so bad?
Yeah.
My
So
friends were like, do you ever read anything?
you have like this bright red face. You're like, what's wrong with you? I'm exfoliating. This is,
Yeah, I'm like, this is
yeah,
not what you're supposed to look like.
yeah. This is how you beautify. Get with it. Do you want to borrow some? It's hurting me.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, you poor thing.
I know. Thank
Well,
God
you
I
like,
caught it though.
yeah. Before you had to go see a dermatologist for corrective surgery. Yeah. No, I'm glad you
Yeah,
did too.
like take a few
Awesome.
layers off.
Yeah. How are you? Are you typically like a, I don't mean like suffering artist, but do you find that you have, I know with comedians, we're just a rigmarole of problems, and the pandemic seemed to spark things. And did you find being an artist, being abstract even, that moods or anything change, stress levels? How did you feel during the first lockdown?
I actually feel really bad for saying this, but the pandemic has actually worked better on my anxiety and depression because I was living in Toronto, and obviously that is a very anxious city to live in. It like was a complete culture shock, so it was really hard for me to adjust, and I knew I didn't want to be there, but I needed to complete my degree, and I'm still in the process of doing that. I graduate in the spring, but I I honestly felt like once I moved back to Thunder Bay, I was able to like step into a new era of creating. I don't know if that makes sense, but I was actually able to be like free and like obviously this is very cliche, but like obviously nature plays a part when you're a creative and like you take from your environment. So not having to see like concrete all the time was so much better for my mental health. And honestly, I'm not like a 9 to 5 person. So like being able to kind of like make my own hours as an artist was actually a lifesaver.
Oh, that's good. A lot of I found that's a big theme too, that things got better. Things
Yeah, and
got
like all of my artist friends say that their commissions blew up. Like pretty much all of my artist friends have been working commission nonstop since the pandemic hit.
wow.
And it's been really good because people are just sitting in their houses being like, what can I do? And then they just like commission a painting. So it's been awesome. I feel horrible saying that because I'm obviously like my heart is hurting for the world, but I'm like, I don't
No,
mind staying
enjoy it.
home.
Enjoy it. We need paint. We need laughter. We need artists. Now is the
Yeah,
time that anybody, if you're making music, you go make your music. This is what people are needing right
exactly.
now. I love that you had a show. Was that, I'm sorry, was that in November? You put on a show.
Yes.
Like you got a little notoriety from that too with the walleye. What were you
Oh,
voted?
the walleye, I won best artist.
Yes. And
Which was super awesome. Like I was so excited.
I voted
But
for you.
I voted for
Of
you
course.
too.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
And I had the last time that I had a show, which was in 2018, I think, I won best art exhibition in the walleye then.
Of course you did. Your art is absolutely beautiful. I'll put a link
Thank
to your
you.
site so other people can check it out too. But
I'm
it's
not
been
even
it's
bragging. It's just I have to say it or else I don't believe that it actually happened.
oh, you're an artist. You have low self-esteem. It's okay. We all do. It's fine. You're like,
Exactly.
no, no. It's
Yeah.
gorgeous. I love when you post pictures of people that have your art and then they put it in their living rooms, and it's just like
Oh my
it's gorgeous,
God.
and we need art, and you're very, very good at it. And so thank you for
Thank
coming here
you.
and to pick your brain a little tiny bit. I'm glad that you're having a good time. When was the last time you laughed so hard that you cried?
Oh my God. I had laughed so hard that I cry like every day.
You do. You're bubbly and you're happy, and that's
I
awesome.
love to laugh. Also, TikTok is really funny. So I
I see
literally
you
just
there.
laugh by myself.
Yeah. You're very good at TikTok. You've got a growing account,
Thank
and
you.
yes, yes. In fact, the ASMR community will just love you. Do you know who ASMR Are you aware what?
Yes.
Okay, so your stuff like when you're showing, show yourself painting some stuff and then speed
Yeah,
it up.
like the paint mixing and
Tag it as ASMR because I will actually
that's a
spend
good
hours just
idea.
watching people paint ASMR. I like watching painting ASMR and I like watching drawing. So you
Oh
post
my
it.
God.
It's a
Why
whole
did
other
I never think of
demographic.
that?
It's amazing. I love it. I'll just sit there and just watch them. Right. So
I have been trying to find my niche on TikTok, and I think that that might be it.
yeah, call it ASMR painting. And
Yeah.
ASMR painting, but get the sound of the brush strokes too. Like if you put a microphone on, you
Yes.
can hear the brush or the pencil sketching. Oh, I'm getting
Ooh, I
goosebumps just
love that.
thinking about it.
I love
Oh,
that.
you're like Sarah ASMR, but also still have your regular following because your shit's just really good. So
Oh my God, thank you.
you're, you're that's awesome. I have some. Actually, okay. When was the last time you cried then? Like, when was the last time? So you laugh every day. You're joyous. Give,
Um,
give us something for the bleeding hearts out there. When was the last time you cried?
I cry a lot, like a lot. It's abnormal. I probably cried. I have like this was not from like an emotional strain, but I have reoccurring strep throat that
Yeah.
I am always getting for some reason. They think I'm a carrier. So I probably cried out of frustration because of that, because I'm like, I hate not being able to talk.
Oh, yeah.
But I
I
also have regular anxiety, so I just cry all the time because of that, just stressing about things that will never happen.
Oh yeah, just generalize. I was never a crier. Like even like 2 years ago, I just didn't cry. I was one of those people I just didn't cry. And now I just
God,
cry all the time. Like I'll cry in the car. I cry during a tampon commercial. I
you're
cry
making
because
up for it.
I am, but it's awesome. And I'm wondering why I wasn't crying before because it's so relieving. Sometimes
It's awesome.
I'll just cry and I don't even care. I just
You know
yeah.
what? Crying in the shower, there's
Oh,
nothing like it.
I haven't tried that, but I do the car thing. And when I found out how many of my friends actually, did you know crying in a car is actually like the thing now? I would be harder pressed to find a woman friend of mine, I don't maybe the men, a woman friend of mine who hasn't cried in a car. That was part of my
I
reason
love
for
crying in the
starting
car.
this. It's perfect. I've pulled over on the side of the road and just been so overwhelmed, and then everything's great. And
You
there's
could literally name anywhere, and I would say I love crying there.
I do. I've cried in parking lots. I want to do like a TikTok of the 10 best places to cry, but I don't know that I
You
could
actually
narrow it
should.
down.
No,
Yeah, because
like
it would seem
everywhere
like
is great.
satire. Yeah.
Well, when I first moved to Toronto, I would listen to Lord's album. Shout out Lord. She's the
Yeah.
inspo for all of my paintings. But I
Really?
would cry in the street. Like just walking down the street, I would just be like bawling my eyes out because I love her. And her music is so
Oh.
emotional. And no one cares. That's the best part about Toronto is that no one cares, but it's also the worst part.
Are you an empath?
I feel like I am, but I don't know if I would ever say it.
Do you have imposter syndrome?
Oh my God, yeah.
Okay,
Like
yeah,
crazy.
because most empaths I think would be like, yeah, I'm the best empath ever. I'm feel, like
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
just makes
like
you feel.
I do feel very heavily. Like when things happen, I'm like way too emotionally impacted by it, if that
Mhm.
makes sense.
No, that makes total sense. I wouldn't even say I'm an empath. I know that I absorb others' feelings to the point that I went into a career with numbers, right? You don't take numbers home with you at night. You don't want to
Oh,
adopt numbers
true.
because you feel so bad for them. I work with things because I find them pain points. So because if I'm not a crier and I surround myself with things that don't make me want to cry, then yeah, that
Then you're
helps.
good. You just avoid everything.
Exactly. Yeah, no, that
Oh
has
my
its
God.
downfalls.
Yeah.
You're just
'Cause
like a
then it's
free
like,
spirit.
oh my God, I'm just gonna I just lean into it because I just know I am that way. So I was like, well, let's make the most of it.
How
Let's
how
just
long
cry all the time.
How long have you been doing that? How long did you decide like, okay, you know what? Painting's my expression and that's how I'm going to lean into this.
Well, actually, I kind of did the same thing. Like I studied psychology at Lakehead, and it made me so stressed. I mean, it is kind of empathetic field to be in, but it was more science based. So, but it made me so stressed that I started to paint, and I started taking classes to like literally relieve my anxiety. And then it just randomly, like my life just like took a turn, and I was like, I'm going to be an artist now. And then I just decided to go to art school, which surprisingly my parents were very okay with at the age of 22, deciding I'm going to go to art school now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like in the last couple years, I've been really just kind of saying like, fuck it. Like I can't control anything.
That's awesome. I do that too, but it looks a little bit more chaotic. I wanted to put on the widescreen so that we could see all of the paintings behind you.
Oh,
do you have a favorite, like right around there, like within arm's reach?
Well, I have a favorite. Hold on.
Okay, I want to see the favorite.
Ooh.
That's gorgeous.
I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, I've been trying to meld my like, because I do some digital art more as like a practice, and my dad's also an artist, just putting that out there. He wants me to incorporate that into my painting. So I did this last night to try to incorporate that, and it's obviously not done, but I'm very proud of it because
I love it.
It's something new. And I'm always trying to like push out of like, okay, I did this, now what can I do, kind of thing.
In Northwestern Ontario's largest arts and culture magazine, to be named best artist is a very big deal. I can see why.
It was so good.
Isn't it? It feels kind of good. It was like, oh, they're just popularity contests, but you're like, yeah, I won a popularity.
I'm like, I also won best tweeter. I'm like, that is stupid. Yeah. I love it.
They didn't even have TikToker, or they didn't.
No, I'm surprised.
Maybe next year we'll be on TikTok stuff if I'm still making them by then.
I think you more than me.
I've been sort of slowing down a little bit lately. Just I did something silly. I made a goal, and then once I hit the goal, then I got bored of it. I thought, I want a viral video. I want something that's more than 1 million. And then I got more than 1 million, and then I was just kind of like, now I'm posting one every couple weeks or doing some.
Yeah, I mean, if I got more than 1 million, I would also just quit.
Yeah. But and that's not really huge. It's not even super viral. I was just like, I want one with 1 million. I want one with 1 million. And a couple of times I got up to like 600,000. And as soon as I hit the 1 million, it was almost like, what else is there to do? Where's YouTube? My biggest amount of likes is 1,200. So that's amazing. You can't, you're going to see like, you get so much more exposure from it too. So I found, and if you have a lot of local, it's weird when you find out what your demographic is too. Did you check your analytics? I'm like a really big deal with single moms in the Midwest and boys under 14. So
good for you.
Yeah. So
that's a pretty good demographic. Those people will ride for you.
Yeah, I've been saying bruh a lot. Like way more than I need to. And I've been called bruh so many times, and I'm just like, oh my God, I'm so in the now. I've got some questions here I'm going to fire at you. It's sort of it's sort of in the spirit of like a fire round, but I'm not, you don't really have a whole pile of time to answer. I'm just going to just sort of.
I'll try to keep it to a minimum.
Okay, well, not even really, but I mean, it's supposed to be a fire round, but some of them require maybe longer answers than others. You'll know, I won't be rude and cut you off, but I might be rude and cut you off. Okay. So explain, it has to hurt if it's to heal.
Oh my God. Okay, that is not a fire question, but I love it. That is, you have to feel pain in order to feel joy. That's what I get from that. And by that, like, you can't enjoy good things unless you've gone through bad things type of.
Would the world be a better place without guns?
Yes.
Ooh.
Period.
What's better?
Period. All the gun people come at me.
Yeah, all 12 people here are going to have an absolute fit over it. What's better, a peer-reviewed studies or hypothetical study if the hypothetical study was based on science?
Science.
Okay. Actually, that's where you're answering them exactly the way I would too, but not that I would argue with you. It's not like I have a buzzer. Next
But you're kind
question.
of like, okay, this person's not someone I would hang out with at a
Yeah.
party.
No, but then there's just more reasons to it too. What is an okay lie to tell a child?
An okay lie to tell a child is, I feel like I just watched a movie about this, where the parent is sick, and maybe not telling them like every step of the way if they're like a little child, and maybe just letting them enjoy their parents for like a little bit longer, and like kind of like lying about like the stage of like their illness.
The stage. Sorry, I don't have kids. To me, it would be like you're dying. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh
Sorry,
my god.
I
Well,
went into a weird place there. I don't even know why. But
I'm a hypochondriac, so I would not want to know everything. I would just be like, is it bad? Are you going to die?
yeah.
But like maybe not every little thing.
Or what about like Santa Claus? Is that an okay lie to tell
Oh, yeah.
your
Okay,
kid?
why did I go so deep?
I don't know,
I
but I
could have just
loved
said
it. No, I really enjoyed that.
I could have said Santa Claus.
Yeah, good.
Honestly, lie to your kids. They won't even remember.
I was talking to a correctional officer. I said, how do they get drugs into the prison? They said, well, sometimes they get somebody to go meet them and they kind of put it in their, like they put it in their ass, and then they try to, like when they go to hug, they can sneak it out that way. And they have to be, I know. And I was like, wow, that's insane. And he goes, or they just throw it over the fence. And I was like, why didn't you start with that one?
Yeah, I'm like, why would I ever do the other option?
Why am I mortified right now when you could have just started with like, and they watch you in the toilet for 8 days, or they just.
He's like, so what they do is
I
get
know.
the diagram. He's like, or throw it. That's probably
Or just throw it. Just do the. I would have always started, I think, with the other one.
Yeah.
Do you have? I'm going to assume that, and I could be wrong. I'm going to assume that you don't have a whole lot of problem with emotional control or being level. It sounds like you've got a good relationship, with your dad, and you're comfortable, you're happy. Look how artsy you are. What about friends? I feel that you're that friend that people call and say, "Hey, I'm not feeling balanced, and I need to chill the hell out." What would you say to a friend of yours? Say that called you and said, "I need to chill out." I feel like any advice you would give would actually be quite useful.
Thank you. Yeah, I do have a lot of friends that my friends do call me a lot for that kind of stuff. Probably because I'm the one who goes through all of it as well. So they're like, this crazy little bitch will know what to say.
Yeah.
But honestly, I just try to like make sure that they're safe, and like, if they're like having a panic attack, like make sure that they can like ground themselves, like those grounding techniques.
You have mental health training in your background, though, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I have a psych degree.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's right. Well, no, it's different than calling, your friend that doesn't have any background and that being like, hey, what can I do? And having them say, I don't know. Have you tried jumping jacks? That might actually work.
And like, I have a lot of friends in the field too that have taught me how to, like, when I'm freaking out, I call them. So it's like a train of people being like, help.
Yes.
But the advice to level someone out, like, honestly, just like, I just try to get people to breathe.
Yeah.
And just
you explain to them that you cry too. And
yeah, I'm like, this is normal. Like, I actually just finished crying to answer this call. Like,
it's
gonna be okay.
I love you. I love your take on this stuff. I just feel like you're just warm. Like, I love the energy of this interview, and I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
I'm going to post a link to your art. Do you have any charities or personal businesses or anything that you'd like to give a plug to while I've got you here?
Bindigan.
What's Indigan? Oops. What is what's
Bindigan?
Bindigan?
It's like a women's indigenous organization or shelter. I'm not super well versed on it,
okay.
But I know that they are looking for donations and like always welcoming donations, and People always donate to FAPE. No, it's just a women's shelter in Thunder Bay.
A women's shelter in Thunder Bay, absolutely. Actually, and they would totally need some help right now.
Yeah. And I'm always just like concerned about the homeless during this time, obviously.
Because you're an empath and you care about other people and you want to make sure that everybody around you is okay.
It's just terrible.
You're so, yeah, exactly. What do you do with yourself?
Why can't I just not care?
The last question I have would be is like, what would you do then as your friend? What would you do if I called you and I said I was having a hard time and you needed to talk me down in the moment?
Oh, I would probably just...
Okay, and there she goes. So she hung up on me. So that's really great. That was Sarah Dufresne, and that was kind of planned. That's actually really funny. And not being a comedian, it was even funnier to make her do that. So thank you guys for watching. We're going to be on the same time next week, Mondays at 8 o'clock. And yeah, thanks so much for watching. Have a good night.